And if you wanted to, if you're not part of a publication, if you're not part of somebody that makes a living off of gossip and rumors and all that shit,
and he didn't sue her. He sued the paper.
Oh, okay.
So he lost the libel case against the Sun newspaper
over
an article that called him a wife beater.
Got it. Which it would make sense why he would lose that case, because the paper, it would be hard to prove that the paper knew that they were using that information to defame him. They could have just been like, well, as far as we're concerned, he was a wife beater.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He can probably win this one because he can probably prove that she knew that he was not doing that to her.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
But I think what people were saying, because I've also there's also lawyers on TikTok a lot, and they talk about it and they discuss after every day of the trial, they'll kind of have their their opinions, their insight, and also kind of given an idea of how the system works and all that. And they were saying she never alluded to him being the person that she was talking about.
It's true.
And
except
she never mentioned him. She there's no way that they can actually prove that she was talking about him and wanted people to know that she was talking about him. Mm-hmm. And that's why they were like, I don't see him winning this case, which sucks. That's fucked up.
Right. But I think they just proved that somebody just proved this week that she admitted to somebody that it was him. That it was him that she was talking about in the article or whatever. I don't know. The only thing that I'm saying is that I am always just very, very cautious of jumping the gun and accusing people of things that I don't know all the details about. And I oftentimes refuse to make my voice be part of the herd, no pun there, but be part of the herd mentality, especially online, about a specific opinion when it could very easily just turn the other way. And I'm big enough to say, hey, I was wrong about this. I've changed my mind. And if I put it out, if I do it here, if I say something and then it changes, I'm more than willing to come in and be like, hey, I was wrong about that. Update, this is an update or whatever. But a lot of people don't do that.
I agree. And I feel the same way. I feel like if I, even with this case, whenever it was damn, he was being abused like that, that is insane. That is how but I don't mind being I was wrong about that, and I'm sorry that I took that side or that I didn't, whatever. But I would rather be wrong about believing someone than about not believing someone. You know what I mean? I would rather be wrong and have sided with somebody that said that they were being abused and that they were being just that they were experiencing all this shit, and then turns out that they didn't, or that wasn't the person. I would rather be wrong about that than be wrong about oh, well, they said that, but I don't know about that. And then have to be oh, actually, I do believe you now. You know what I mean?
I don't feel bad about that. I would feel bad if, I understand it if
I feel bad about both. I would feel bad about both, but I'm saying I would rather take the risk of believing somebody and then being wrong about that than taking the stance of I don't know if you're telling the truth and I don't know if you're lying about your abuse.
But
and
I would never say
wrong.
that, though. I would never say that.
You wouldn't say it to their face, but I'm saying in general, me, myself, morally with myself, I would rather be wrong about believing someone about their experiences and their abuse and whatever than about not believing them.
I would never, just to be clear, I would never look at somebody and say, or even on social media, type it up and be I'm going to reserve judgment until I find out that you're not lying.
Right.
I'm never going to say that. I just wouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I just would keep my mouth shut until things were a lot more definitive.
Yeah.
That's where I would stand for that, especially when it comes to things like abuse, these these very heinous allegations that could be catastrophic and emotionally damaging, and all those things. I'd rather just keep my voice out of it until things are a lot more definitive, because if I join the crowd and it ends up being right, then it doesn't do anything for me. Mm-hmm. Like being right ahead of time before the definitive facts come out don't enhance it in any way. But being wrong about it might have already laid a lot of damage in its tracks. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of feel the way that you feel about believing. I feel that about
that makes sense.
You know what I mean about the facts. Like I would rather reserve and just not say anything, and feel not good or bad, but feel confident in the fact that like, okay, this is more definitive. This is what we're going to talk about. This is where I stand on this specific issue. I'd rather that happen, even if it takes years, even if it's, you know what I mean? Especially if people in the public eye, rather than join the mob, maybe be right statistically most of the time, but then have that one time where I am wrong. And despite the fact that I'm willing to say, hey, like, my bad, I was wrong about this. Yeah. My one tweet's not gonna bring back all that damage that was caused by the fucking herd. You know what I mean? That I would feel really bad about, because I'm like, fuck me, man. Like I know that it doesn't affect my life in the slightest before or after, but like now, like this person's probably really going through it, and I'm just like, I'd rather not even touch that subject at all. And to be fair, I do that also with people that are in my life, or closer to my life, not just celebrities, like, you know, friends of mine that have, you know, gone to jail for things, or, you know, not things related to this or abuse or anything like that, but just in general, like drugs or like, you know, fighting and this and that or blah blah blah. I'm always like, okay, like let's wait, let's figure this out. I'm not gonna go ahead and label you as this, label you that, or like, and I even do that I've done that to my friends that accuse other people, like, oh, this person's this person's that. Well, I don't know them. Yeah. I'm gonna chill a little bit. I think you're just a little hot-headed and you're heated right now, and like maybe you're right, but let's just like get out of this situation right now. Like I do that. I feel like I'm pretty consistent across the board with all of those things, and I kind of wish that everybody else was like that too, because this kind of goes back to the conversation we had, you know, whenever we had it, about cancel culture and like how damaging it can be, and how if there is no redemption culture, it can be very, very, very painful to some people and very indifferent to everybody else. Like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. Like, it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal.
Yeah.
I think so. You know what I mean? But, you know, she got a haircut. She got a haircut.
I want to see her bob.
Yeah, I was gonna say hi. Come here, mama. Okay, say hi.
I like your hair.
Hey, baby.
It's
Look
so
at
cute.
your little pony.
Where you going?
She's gonna sit on the couch.
Oh, okay, she's just spectating today.
You want to go say hi?
Hey, you want to say hi? You want to give me a kiss, babe? Say hello. Mwah. Oh.
Qué amor. I love your Crocs.
Hello.
She killing it.
Hello.
You're so cute.
She's gonna like touch
She
all
don't.
this
She's
shit.
like, I don't know her. You gonna give me a kiss? Thank you. I like your hair.
Yeah.
You're so sweet today. Yeah.
It's probably because she ate barbecue shit. Ooh.
Oh, yes. I just got a chest pain.
Damn. Hey, we were just talking about how we went out yesterday.
Something for you and your brother. She's like, oh, she's got a bunch of people there right now. I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, well, let me pack a couple more. I was like,
Damn.
Girl, I thought you meant I'm sending this to Juliet. Exactly.
Aww.
I got upset. Okay.
We were just talking about how we went out and how Houston's the fucking best fucking city in the world, because we went out yesterday. We were talking about the bar scene in Houston.
We didn't say best city in the world, but we said it was pretty cool. But like, whatever.
I mean, New York is fun.
New York is a lot of fun. I've been looking at tickets.
New
They're
York
like
is fun.
$400 right now. Well, not right now, but like for the summer.
Round trip?
Yes.
That's not too bad.
Every time I've gone to New York, I've paid less than $200. I'm not even kidding.
Shit,
I'm
I
not
need to
even
get on
kidding.
that boat.
For like the plane tickets. Not
Just gotta touch the color.
she's very much like that. I wanted to go for your birthday.
I wanted to go for your birthday. We still haven't gone to New York together. What a crime.
We all haven't gone to New York together. Well, me and her have gone, but like all of us together.
I was telling mom and
When are we going?
Well, we go to New York.
When are we going? I'll figure it out.
We can go to New York at the end of the year. It'll just be a little colder.
Wait,
I
are
already
we
went
going
during
out
the cold. I want to go during the summer again.
Fall
to-
in New York is fucking beautiful.
Puerto Vallarta at the end of the year?
Yeah, but that's like 2 days. That's like 3 days.
For what?
A wedding.
A wedding?
A wedding. A wedding for a person that we don't know.
A wedding.
Oh.
Yeah, we might go to a wedding.
I wanted to go to the beach.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
But I do want to go.
It'll happen.
We're at an hour 30, about almost.
That's about the most interesting thing that's been
That's
happening
it.
in
Yeah.
the world. Like
This
This
like
is
that,
off
but-
record. Olivia wanted to know if she can buy weed from you. Do you have anything?
Maybe not. No, I don't have anything. But we can ask
That's fine.
Diego. I'm
Diego.
sure he has some money.
Of all the people, he would probably be the one.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, that's the most interesting thing that's been happening. It has been on fire. Like, I cannot go anywhere without hearing something about Johnny Depp and Amber.
Which is so crazy because like we really do just jump between all these topics so much, like just in our society. Cause like the Ukraine war, that's
We are
just still
just
happening, but
so-
nobody gives a fuck about it
Like
anymore.
it's so oversaturated. Like
Do
I
you
have
feel-
never been the kind of person to be like, our phones are toxic, because I always felt like, and I still do feel like that, where I'm like, stop like responsibilizing like all these other things when you are in charge of that. If it overwhelms you, then get off your fucking phone.
yeah, but that's
If you don't like it, if it makes you feel bad, then step away from it.
that's one thing though with that, like with phones and stuff, and it's especially social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, the way that they're specifically built to pull you in,
Sensationalize,
to
yeah.
keep you,
Yeah,
like, you know,
no, for
so, like,
sure.
and, I mean, I completely agree that you have to take some responsibility there, but like I legit have to take them off of my phone
Yeah.
and like delete the apps. Otherwise, without even thinking about it, it's just such a natural thing that I like grab my phone and go to it, and all of a sudden I'm fucking scrolling for 30 minutes
For
instead
sure.
of doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
But
It's rough.
yeah,
I don't tend to have that
I
issue.
feel like I don't think any generation before ours has like received and like consumed information to the fucking degree
This
that
is
we
true.
do.
This is true.
It is so like when you think about it, if you really like sit down and start to like imagine what like your parents, your grandparents like were doing, they like the amount of shit that we take in and process and like internalize in a day, in an hour, it is so insane. Like that is not normal. We were not meant for that. You know what I mean? Like we were not put on this fucking earth for that. And especially like I realize that with TikTok now. And there's always been apps, right? Like there was Twitter, like whenever I still worked at the gym, like I was on Twitter all fucking day long. And there was Vine, and those were like
Vine
little
was great.
Vine was great.
Vine was the GOAT.
Something about TikTok, I don't know exactly like how to pinpoint the difference. I don't know if maybe there's like the algorithm. I mean, we've talked about this in the past. Like it's so like different, like diverse, like all the shit that you can get on your For You page, like back to back to back. The amount, like I set like a limit on my phone for my app, so that I can only like use it for a certain amount of time, so that I don't spend like 5 fucking hours on TikTok.
Yeah.
So I have it for 2 hours. The range of content that I consume on TikTok in 2 hours, like
It's wild.
it's
That's a
wild.
lot. That's a lot.
It's insane. Like you can go from like recipes to a movie to a like get ready with me to a song to a dance to somebody complaining about something to somebody talking about a cost to somebody talking about climate change to somebody doing something stupid to somebody like just recording like one of their stand-up shows. Like it is so and you don't retain any of it. Like
Yeah.
any of it. Our attention span has become so like
I think that's the
minimal.
That was like the there's like a speculation right now that like that's what has been conditioned to us now, like that they're
Yes.
Yeah, our attention span is a
that
lot
looking
lower.
to make our attention span so much shorter so that it's harder for us to actually, like for instance, if you have a short attention span, you're not gonna have enough energy to be like, let's make a movement together because you're like, it died
so
down.
you're saying that they're like that there's
Like
they're
it's kind of being done on purpose, like dumb us down.
I don't buy that. I just think that it's easier to get our money with a short amount of time. I think it's just about capitalism. I think that like
I agree with that.
if you can condense something to as the smallest possible to get you to either click it because there's money that's going to come in the clicks, or it'll take you to the product.
Do you know
this
how
and
much,
that.
how much
I think
click
it's more
to buy I've gotten drawn into.
I think it's more. I think it's more about you spending money.
I agree.
Than
I'm just
you
saying, like,
not
that's
being,
like what some people are like.
100%.
And here's the reason I push back for that, because when George Floyd happened, that was not the case.
I was gonna say, as much as I think that like they're like I don't buy into that because I feel like if anything, social media has served as such a tool.
It was 2020. I mean, the pandemic helped because nobody was doing shit. So it did help.
But that's not true. I feel like the Black Lives Matter movement, the Me Too movement, like all of that shit had like social media was the catalyst.
Didn't it all happen during the pandemic?
No,
not Me Too, but
not Black Lives Matter either.
No.
Black Lives Matter has existed for like.
But it became what it is.
Really, really big because of George Floyd.
I think George Floyd, like, I think that was such an extreme. I think that was a very extreme.
Yo, but just sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.